Hello, Christine here from Rabbit Trails Homeschool, and I'm going to show you inside of our brand new Rabbit Trails thru writing curriculum. So if you are not new to Rabbit Trails, you'll say, Christine, these are not new, and that is technically true because we had a writing membership for the past 4.5 years that every single month people were getting a brand new lesson. Well, we had 4.5 years of lessons compiled and we were ready to get them into people's hands because life has gotten hectic and having to write new lessons every single month has not been doable for my lifestyle anymore with my kids growing up the way that they are. And so I said, we have all of these. Why don't we just make Rabbit Trails thru writing instead of this writing membership and share all of these awesome lessons that we already have? So that's what we did. So we have 8 volumes of writing all ready for you. You don't have to wait years for the next one to come out. They're done. They're all here. They're all ready. And the way that we have them compiled is into 6 lessons in each volume. So if you have volume 1 for fall and volume 1 for spring, that is 12 months of writing lessons to get you through the entire year. And so the way these were written, since we were writing them month by month, they are seasonal lessons. And so in June, you're gonna have a summary lesson. In December, you're gonna have a Christmassy lesson. In October, you're gonna have a fall pumpkin scarecrowy type lesson. In the spring, you're gonna have some type of nature lesson. And so these are written so that as you go through them, you're gonna have all these wonderful themes going on top of your writing. Because guys, this is more than a writing curriculum. This has author studies. Every single lesson focuses on an amazing author or illustrator. I'll go through a small list for you in just a second. It also has a brainstorming for every single lesson. It has a writing activity for every single lesson. And it has a Bible study with coordinating themes that go with the book for the lesson. And it has a free read aloud for every single lesson. So if you can't grab the main book from your library, those read alouds are in there for you. You do not have to buy every book that goes along with these lessons. They're included. You don't have to pay extra. So it's super exciting and it's just a different way to teach writing because a lot of times children are expected to write based off of just kind of standalone writing prompts and it doesn't work. It could for a select few kids. For the grand scheme, it's not going to work. It's going to overwhelm them. And so I wanted a simple way to teach writing because my kids are not natural writers. They have struggled to learn to write. And so coming from a more gentle approach has been amazing. So I want to show you inside of a lesson and I will show you a few of the authors. So like I said, there are 4 volumes each of fall and spring, which equal 8 volumes total. So we're gonna go through the fall volume really fast. And at the very beginning, when you open the curriculum, you are going to find a list of QR codes. So these are all the QR codes that you need for all of those different read alouds. And so this is just volume 1, guys. This is just fall volume 1. This isn't even spring volume 1. Let me read off some of these authors to you. We have Leo Leone, Robert McCloskey, Cynthia Rylant, Stephen Kellogg, Beth Ferry, and Chris Van Allsburg. So if you have not heard of these, we're talking Make Way for Ducklings by Robert McCloskey. Cynthia Rylant, oh my goodness, so many of her books are out there. We did When I Was Young in the Mountains was our main book for this one. Chris Van Allsburg, guys, that's Polar Express, okay? So these are amazing books, amazing authors. This is just fall volume 1. So you can see all of the authors on our website. I'm pointing because my computer's right there. You can see all of the authors on our website and all of the promotional pictures on the website show all of those main books that will come as those read alouds included. So you can see what all you have in store. And it'll also show all of the different brainstorming. It will show all of the different writing assignments right there. So if you click learn more, it'll show you what's inside of that volume. So I want to walk you through a lesson. So we're going to look at this first lesson on Leo Leone. So in each lesson, you are going to learn about that specific author or illustrator. So that is what is coming here, because this was even fun for me as a parent, because I didn't even realize that half of the books in our home library were by these amazing authors and illustrators until after I started doing these studies. And I'm like, we have 4 of this person's books. I did not know that's who it was by. And it kind of all put them into like genres in my brain and all together to realize how many books I already had on my shelves from these authors and illustrators. And I say and illustrators because some of them are specifically about illustrators. Because if you know me and you know how much I love the Caldecott medal that I have back here, and that's in our free sample lesson that I'll talk about here too. I love Caldecott winning books, and Caldecott medal winners, they win because of their illustrations in children's books. And so I wanted to focus also on illustrators. Sometimes it is both, where they are the author and the illustrator. Sometimes they are just standalone illustrators and they needed some attention because of the amazing books that they have as well. So most of them are on authors, a handful are just on illustrators as well. So you're going to learn all about that author illustrator. There is going to be copy work, which will just be a snippet from the main book. And then there's also a quote from that author or illustrator as well that your kids can use for copy work. Then we have our Some Fun page. So it's going to be some type of fun, hands-on activity. So if you know our Rabbit Trails units, you know that in our More Ideas page, there's more of those, but this is a little bit different for our writing. So this is your chance to get hands-on with this Some Fun here. And then next, I have a bit of a 2-page layout. We have our Rabbit Trails page and our library list page. So these are going to be more books that we suggest by that author or illustrator. And we also have a video, and most of them are interviews that you can watch from that author or illustrator. There are a few where they are too old and they did not have videos and stuff back when they were authoring books. And so we found some other things that will fit there. But a great amount of them are interviews for your kids to enjoy, to learn either about their writing style, about their art style, just more about them as people. And so it's just a really cool scoop on those authors and illustrators. And then, like I said, in our other curriculum, we have a More Ideas page. That is where we get the writing in this. So there is a multi-step writing activity on these pages. So you're going to get your brainstorming, you're going to get your writing and your presenting step in every single lesson. And then there's always an extra writing activity at the end as well. Sometimes it could be an illustration activity if appropriate instead. So this is where you're going to get the bulk of that. Every now and again, there's going to be a link to a graphic organizer, whatever you need so that you can easily do that brainstorming step, because we want to see you be successful. So that is what you're going to see inside of every lesson. So rinse and repeat for the rest of the curriculum. In the back of the curriculum is where we have our Bible studies. Let me flip my one page. So these Bible studies will coordinate with the main book in some way. And so this one on Stephen Kellogg is on bravery. So there will be different Bible verses that your kiddos can memorize or use for copy work. We also have verse cards to go with all of those. So you can cut them out and your kiddos can use those. You can hang them up on your fridge in your homeschool room. Just cut them out so they can have it there for copy work, whatever you want to do with them. The sky is the limit that you can use those, but they are also here for you as well. And then every Bible verse will have a small section in your Bible to read. So you're not just reading that one verse, right? We want them to understand a little bit more. So there's either a chapter or a few verses together to read to get that idea, on this case, of bravery. And then there's a small journaling opportunity for your kiddos as well. So there's more opportunities for writing with those journaling activities, and it's just, especially for those older kids, it's great conversation starters and to really get them to think. And if you have younger kids you're wanting to do this with, just having those conversations. A lot of times I won't have my younger ones journal these because they aren't quite there yet in their minds to just have an open-ended journaling like that. where my older kids are. So a lot of times I'll just use these as discussion points, even for my little ones, because that should not be discounted when you're thinking of writing. Like, shouldn't they be writing? It's a writing curriculum. The foundation of writing is coming up with the ideas. And so if you are wondering, is my child old enough for this? It's completely up to you. If you have an independent writer, think second, third grade, where they are writing on their own, absolutely, it's for you. This is for all elementary ages and even some younger middle schoolers. I usually use this through 6th grade. Every now and again, I'll throw it out there for my 7th and 8th grader if there's a really good topic that I know that they can run with, especially if there's a research topic or anything like that for that lesson. I grab those kiddos, they're doing it along with us. Now, your kindergartners, your 1st graders, maybe your younger 2nd graders, can you use this with them? Again, that is completely up to you, but the foundation of a good writing curriculum is getting them to think and to get those ideas. So maybe if they aren't good enough at writing full sentences, you're putting that foundation down by having them come up with those ideas, dictating to you those ideas, and then you writing it down for them. So if you are wanting to start that foundation in writing with your kindergartner, your 1st grader, absolutely this is appropriate for them, because we are starting by reading picture books. We are starting with simple brainstorming activities that any age can do, and that you can do this with multiple children on multiple levels, because you're going to have the expectation of, what is this child capable of doing? So are they capable of writing just a couple of sentences, but they're still able to get that assignment and get those wheels turning? Because we don't want them to have that blank page syndrome down the road. We want them to be able to automatically brainstorm and automatically come up with these ideas later down the road. So if you're wanting to set those foundations for your younger kids, this is not an inappropriate curriculum for them. So have your child work on their level. If you've got multiple kiddos, expect those few sentences from one, but maybe that 4th and 5th grader, that they're gonna write this big old story that they're super inspired by, right? And so you have what you're gonna make with it. So you can choose how hard or how simple you want the assignment to be for your child, because you know your child. You know their abilities. I don't know your child. So go off of your own child's abilities and what you want your expectations to be of them. And that's the beauty of it, is it's flexible, just like all of our Rabbit Trails curriculum, for you to make of it what you want it to be. So like I said, there is a sample lesson on our website, and it is about Randolph Caldecott, and he is the father of the modern day picture book, and you can see the beautiful Caldecott medal there that my son made for that lesson. And there is an awesome video that I took about the Caldecott medal, so you can teach your children about that, because every year illustrators are awarded that Caldecott medal, so it's super exciting, especially when the new ones come out in the spring, that your kids will then know what that is and go to your library and check it out and find those new books that are awarded the medal. So you can see that free sample lesson. You can also see a sample schedule. So we used to give a month calendar inside of our membership. We no longer give that because of how we have these structured differently. You may not want to use these throughout the summer. And so we don't want to put that expectation on you of, you have these 6 lessons inside of this volume, and if you don't do them within this month, you're doing it wrong. Nope, that's not the way we operate at Rabbit Trails. You do what works for your homeschool. However, I know that sometimes it's nice to see how you could structure it inside of a month. So we do have that month calendar for you, so you could see how that Caldecott lesson would be structured inside of 1 month along with that Bible study. So it can give you an idea, if you are wanting to do these 1 per month, how that would look set up inside of a 5-day week, homeschool week. So I have the link to the website down in the description, of course, so you can see all 8 volumes. You can see what authors and illustrators, what brainstorming activities, what writing activities. You can see that sample lesson and that sample schedule. And we have those all compiled together for this one. I know for our other units, we have them separated. That is just one link. You'll see the teal button for the sample lesson and schedule on the website. And all of the things, guys. I'm so excited to finally get this into your hands. So Rabbit Trails Through Writing, brand new, but also kind of not brand new. tested, approved by tons of homeschool families. So I am so excited to get all of these older lessons into your hands. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If not, until next time, I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care, my friend.